Shalom, call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors are to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, much peace, and blessings to our essential Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone, man. McKeon coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Low and is edifying. We're gonna be quick and prompt in transit lesson. Alright, so I don't have many scriptures lined up, but I want to speak on how, something I was meditating on is how we know as this year has been, coined through the spirit, totally through the spirit, by Apostle Tahar, calling this year the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and we're seeing that was not a far-fetched title at all. Okay, at all, and it's looking not only very plausible, but very likely that all hell is going to break loose by the end of this year. Okay, any day now, from now until the election, and from the election till the inauguration. But I would say most certainly before the inauguration, there's going to be a huge event. Okay, and that's not to say that there won't be multiple huge events. Through the spirit, I believe, as other brothers believe, there will be multiple huge events to take, which was known as a polycrisis. They have different elders and brothers bringing that word out. Polycrisis, meaning multiple crises taking place simultaneously or at the same time, which will totally bring this nation and the inhabitants thereof, as well as many inhabitants of the earth worldwide, to their knees. Okay, which we know the great destruction is going to be here in America, but it's going to be all hell throughout the planet Earth. Okay, you have the World War III, the Third World War brewing up. You have talks of a new disease. We have, I believe, there was an emergency authorization given for new Myrna jabs for bird flu, right? And of course, with the whole financial system that's bound to totally collapse, and of course with the election and talks of civil war, there's many things that can take place that if it was just to happen themselves, could totally upend this place. But all of these things happening together, that's Jacob's trouble. Okay, so I just want to speak on how I totally believe, and it has to be true because the scriptures say them. There's going to be a great deal of faith, a great portion of faith that the Lord is going to increase within starting with the men of the Lord, as well as all the believers out there. Okay, starting with the prophets and throughout the whole house of the elect. The Lord is going to greatly increase the levels of faith that we currently have, right? Of course, there's going to be, different people that's going to be waking up. There will be a famine of the word, so eventually we're not going to be teaching this truth in the format that we're currently teaching it, but you know, you're going to have different people different members of the elect that will be activated in other ways, right? And when I say other ways, meaning they're going to get the truth, and not in a formal way as brothers wake up now, but you may have certain situations where you run into somebody and things happen and you end up breaking the truth down to them, and they receiving it with joy, and they end up being of the elect, right? But for if you have faith right now, right? If you're part of this ministry right now, you're giving diligence right now, you're showing faith right now. When all hell breaks loose, if you're of the elect, your faith is not going to dwindle, and it's not going to stay the same. It's going to increase, meaning the Lord is going to increase your faith. He's going to pour out His Spirit, as it says in Joel, the 2nd chapter, as well as Acts, the 2nd chapter. Okay? Because we know it's going to be so much hell breaking loose, and we know a false balance is abomination to the Lord. The Lord is going to increase faith just so that we can endure, just so that the elect can endure. There's going to be such hard times, such perilous times. The Lord is going to have to give us a higher level of faith. So expect when the next, black swan, so-called, as Esau called, or a black swan event. If you don't know what that is, I suggest you look it up. Well, after the next black swan event, expect, if you maintain your faith, of course, if you don't let that shake you to the point where you're out of the faith, expect a huge portion of faith to be added unto you during that time. Okay, just expect it, which the word, expect is you looking forward to it. You looking forward for it to come. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the scripture that I have pulled up. This is Acts 14:22. Get to the point, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So if we must enter into the kingdom through much tribulation, then there's no other way around it. We got to go through it. Well, how are we going to get through it? If we got to go through it to get through it, how are we going to go through it? How are we going to get through it? The Lord is going to have to He's going to have to endow His men, first and foremost, with great levels of faith in order to withstand the times that's coming. In order to be those leaders that the rest of the elect will have to look to guide them, to shepherd them, to lead them through these times of great tribulation. As the scripture says, it's going to be a time as never before. So the Lord can't have His leadership on earth shaky and uncertain, right? Their faith is going to have to be on the utmost level. And Lord willing, we're competing, we're fighting to be a part of that number. Okay? But it says confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. You hear that? To continue in the faith. If you continue in the faith, that means your faith has to increase. You can't continue in the faith and your faith maintain or remain stagnant. If you continue in faith, that means your faith has to increase. Okay? To the point where miracles are being performed. You praying for things and it materialized right in front of you. manifest within, immediately because of that great faith that you showed. Okay, because we're gonna need divine intervention to get through day to day. The times like never before. It's gonna require divine intervention to make it through on a daily basis, in the times that's coming to pass in the near future. So that's just something I wanted to speak on real quick. Just something I wanted to throw out there in the spiritual ether. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Hakwadash, until the next one, Shalom.